Hello everyone, as we continue through Minyan dilemmas, here's the question. For a good reason, you don't daven in a Minyan. Be it because you are davening exactly at nates, according to those poskim that allow such behavior every day, be it because you, for some reason or another, got up late. Should you daven in Shul? Now mind you, the Shulchan Aruch does paskin that if you can't daven in a Minyan, you should daven in Shul. Does he mean in Shul alone? Or does he mean in Shul while there's another Minyan happening, albeit you can't catch up to them? So, in order to answer this question, let's go back to the source in the Gemara. Gemara in Masechet Brachot Avav Amud Aleph, in the name of Abba Binyamin, en tfilat shel adam nishmat ela beveit hakneset. A person's prayer is only heard in Shul. Shene'emar, as we say on the night of the first slichos for Ashkenazim many a times, lishmoa ela rina ve'ela tfilah, bimkom rina sham tiyeh tfilah. In the place that you give praise to God and you give thanksgiving to God, so too it should be the place you daven. So according to this, you want your prayers to be heard, do it in Shul. Then the Gemara goes on to say in the name of Rabbi Yitzchak, how do you know that God's holy presence is in a Shul? Because as we say in the Shir Shel Yom of Tuesday, Elokim nitzav ba'atat kel, God stands in the congregation of God, namely in the place that people congregate in Shul. And then the Gemara says, how do we know that when 10 people daven, God is with them? It quotes the same pasuk. So, the tzlach, the tziyun lanefesh chaya, written by the Nodi Yehuda in memory of his mother Chaya, thus the name, comes along and says we have to understand the position of Abba Binyamin. אם המקום גורם, ואפילו אין הציבור שמתפללים, כגון שנתאחר וכבר השלימו הציבור תפילתם והוא מוכרח להתפלל ביחיד, אפילו הכי ילך לבית הכנסת, does it mean that the shul has this inherent value, and therefore even if you get up late, you should daven in shul and not at home if you're physically able to? Or does it mean go to shul because there you'll find a minyan? Nafkamina, let's say you have 10 people davening outside in your parking lot and nobody in Shul. According to the first way of understanding, no, you got to go to Shul because that's where God listens to prayers. According to the second way that the Tzlach understands it, no, you go to Shul because that's where you'll find a minyan. If you found a minyan somewhere else, more importantly, there's a minyan and outside of Shul, but inside of Shul there's none, you should go to the minyan. God's holy presence is there. Is it because it's called the Shul, it has a Aron Kodesh, it has a bima, it has certain kedusha to it, because we can't eat there, we're not allowed to drink there under normal circumstances, or no, it's because there's a minyan there? Well, he decides to go to work on this, and he quotes a Tosfos in Maseches Avodah Zarah that says, in the name of the Rabbeinu Tam, and there's no minyan, God can't throw away the prayer. It has to come through the room. But God listens dafka b'makom shahatzibur mitpalelin, when a minyan davens. Based on this, the Tzlach says that according to Tosfot, Abba Binyamin brought the statement about Shul, about davening in a minyan together on purpose. Why? Because tzarich lomar detarte bai im hatzibur v'dafka beit hakneset, a minyan and in Shul, and therefore he mentioned them both. And therefore he says, we have no promise that if you are alone and you are davening in a shul, that your prayer is going to be listened to. Means daven in the shul when there's still a minyan there, even though your prayer is not synchronized with them. There you come into shul there way right before Ga'al Yisro, they're getting close to the Amidah, and you're just starting to wrap your tefillin in order to start davening. Still, there's a congregation there. You're davening your Amidah, and they're already in Ashrei V'Letzion towards Shir Shel Yom and Aleinu. Still, it's considered like you're davening b'tzibur, and that's what the Gemara means. Lishmo ala rina ve'la tefillah. They're saying she wrote V'tishbachot, you're saying Tfilah. In other words, according to this, and this is what I believe that Tzlach opts for, It's not enough for being in shul alone. You have to be in shul when there's 10 others, even though you're davening a different davening than them, in the sense of you came late or you started early. So to daven in shul with no one there, it seems like it's one tzad, as we say in the tzlach, but he doesn't like it too much. Based on the Tosfot, he believes that there has to be 10 there, even though you're not synchronized with them, and that's what the Tzitz Eliezer ultimately says, that if you come to shul and you want to daven nates, you could do so if 10 others are there or will be there. In his words, shekama yechidim shenimtzaim kvar bebet hakneset kereva shah lifnei ha'netzach hama, ויוכלו להספיק להתפלל מהנצח חמה והציבור יתחילו להתפלל רק לאחר מכן, שיש על היחיד חיוב להקדים תפילתו לתפילת הציבור, או שרשאי. Indeed, if you come to shul, you want to daven nates, and most people there already, I repeat, most people there are not yet ready, you can daven nates. Why? Because there are 10 people there, even though they're behind you in this case, not in front of you in their progress of the prayer service. Why? יש עניין משמעותי לתפילתו, אם לאחר שיגמור להתפלל תפילת הלחש, ימתין להמשיך בנפילת אפיים ואמירת אשרי ובא לציון יחד עם הציבור. Because they're going to be davening, and you're going to be davening, though not at the same place. And from this perspective, if you come to shul early or other part, you come to shul late, you should do so if there's 10 people there, even though your davening won't be synchronized. Similar, but a bit different, you come into shul on a Rosh Chodesh, or on Shabbos or Yontif, and you didn't daven Shacharis yet, and you're about to daven the silent Amidah of Shacharit, while the congregation is exactly up to Musaf. Common denominator, you're both davening a silent Amidah, and at the same time, but they're davening Musaf, you're davening Shacharis. Paskins the Magen Avraham, mitpalel Musaf b'shah she'hatzibur mitpalel Shacharit, lo mikre b'shah she'hatzibur mitpalelim. You indeed are not considered as if you are davening at the time that the congregation is davening. However, if you'd like to say it's good enough to have them in shul, you don't need to be having them daven the same thing you will, then it's like davening b'tzibur, it's like davening within a minyan, and that's the position of Rav Soloveitchik in the name of his father. And I quote from Nefesh Harav by Rav Shechter, שאפילו הוא היה מתפלל שחרית בלחש, בשעה שהציבור התפללו תפילת מוסף בלחש, גם כן היה יוצא בזה ידי חובת תפילה בציבור, דלהיחשב תפילה בציבור, אין מן הצורך שיתפללו כל הציבור אותה התפילה. Indeed, to be considered davening in a minyan, you don't need everyone to daven exactly the same davening. So you can be davening your Amidah and there an Ashrei Uva L'Tzion, and it would still be considered as if you're davening in the right place at the right time. From this perspective, davening in shul is wonderful, it's important, but according to this point of view, it's only when there's 10 others there, even if you're davening, it's not synchronized with them.
Mejor